Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Royce from Mel. Welcome to my channel, and this is the beginning of part 19. So I have let's see where we're at here, page 302. I think where I left off before 2 weeks ago. It's been a while since I was on this build. I was working on the oil cooler in the front, and I think the long lines, I am going to use the two black vinyl hoses that they give you because they're kind of going to be hidden, and I think they'll be okay to run back through. So there's where I left off before. This is just kind of loosely sitting there. And then here's pictures of the hoses of the real car. So I just used titanium gold on some of the fittings there. Kind of make it look similar, but I think it'll be okay once get everything mounted up here. So they show you in green here where to route the hoses. I just wish the hoses weren't they just keep kind of going back to the original shape that they were. So I don't know, maybe I could try to lightly heat them up to get them to go straight. Okay, so they want 2 screws, AP screws, I think, to hold the oil cooler in the front. Get 2 of those out. This thing is getting awkward to turn around and flip over and whatever else. Probably should start from the front. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Oh, I never did put that screw back in there on the splash guard there. Okay, so that goes to the bottom one. Which, I don't see how that's gonna go. I don't see how that's gonna fit on there. It doesn't look like. It's annoying. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go on there. That's just the fitting. The fitting's too fat. So dumb. Good luck with that. Find something to try to stretch it out. What a pain. There it goes. But now I got that all crimped to hell there, but there we go. All right. I'd assume the second one is going the same way, but let's just take a look. Basically the same. Yeah, it looks like about the same routing. So where did the other one get to? So with this one, I'm going to pre-stretch. Stretch out the end there. I ran my head into the camera. Hey, boy. Let's see, where did it get to? I don't know where it's at. All right, stretch this out on the end. That's what I should have done in the first place on the other one. Probably should have added like a little dab of glue perhaps on the ends there to keep it from popping off, but it doesn't look like it'll come off. Let's pull some of this slack. So they're saying that should go up. Almost. Jeez. That's all. I got that all. Shoot, I just got that twisted. Quite a mess. Jeez Louise. Alright, there we go. Trying to stay calm and not get upset with it. Might have to try to get a little more tidy there with it. Let's see how it looks there with behind the panel. It's supposed to go up underneath the fuse panel. They're kind of like, you can kind of see them down there, but so there they are sticking out. So obviously they'll need trimmed off or whatever else then. But all right, well, that's good. Got that out of the way. This thing is just getting very, very bulky to move around. As you can see, it is huge. Crazy. And so I had a question the other week. Someone asked me, what does it weigh when it's finished? I don't know, but we'll find out, because it weighs a lot. Okay, so here we can see a little bit better angle from the way it looks from underneath the fuse panel. I just took some fine copper wire and just kind of wrapped around and pull it tight to the frame. So I think that'll be okay. Now, next step on page 307, they want you to remove the 2 CM screws that were in up here and right here. And that was the ones I had issues with at one time. If anyone remembers that, it was kind of frustrating. And someone did write to me and said, oh, later on you'll be taking those out, I think someone said. But anyway, so this panel here is plastic. Believe it or not, it's actually not metal, but that needs to go in here next. And it's a bunch of CM screws, I think, or no, PM screws, I believe. So let me take those 2 screws out and I'll get started on mounting that. But I just wanted to show you guys quick how that's coming along or looking from the bottom. It's getting very cluttered, obviously, but we'll get there eventually. All right, now that panel is mounted, and we are at page 309. So it looks like I'm going to be doing those 2 interior panels that I was curious about recently. That's where we're at with that. I don't know if I need to go back, though. I should probably go back and do the fuel injection lines. I've yet to do that. I keep putting it off. But I don't know. Kind of cheating there a little bit and looking ahead, but so I don't know what to do there. I don't think any of this is going to affect any. I mean, I should be okay to do the fuel injection lines whenever, because I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the interior panels. I just still love how they say handbrake cable for 68C. Anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. All right, so those 2 panels, I decided to go ahead and do that next, and then I'm gonna end it there and start on the fuel injection lines. So I sat that one in there a while, and that looks like it's a pretty nice fit. Just thought I'd say goodbye to the tank that I don't know why I even bothered to detail that up. Well, I didn't really detail it up, but weathered it up to look a little more like real aluminum. So I'm going to be saying goodbye to that, because once we mount this in there, if I can get that down in there, that'll be it with that. Oh, it's got it stuck there. Oh, it's got to go, yeah, it's got to go up underneath there. It's like a tight, really tight fit. There we go. So I'm going to get that tidied up, and it looks like it takes a whole bunch of IM screws. And then I'm going to put that lever on there, and which is back. Have it sitting right there in that cup. So let me hang the camera up and we'll get rolling. It's like not even going into anything. Not sure why that one's not. That's not doing anything. I don't know what's going on here, but that does not want to go down in there. Yeah, I'm like nowhere near the holes. Like 1/8 of an inch off and then going in where it's supposed to. And the hole's like way back there. What in the hell? It's like nowhere near the hole. Those are like, I don't know why, but that's like nowhere near what's supposed to be. So I guess I won't be putting 2 screws in the bottom there. I don't think it's necessary anyway. So I'm probably going to have to fill all these. Anything that's visible that I'm going to be filling and repainting gray. So I'm not sure. I think there's something that goes over top of here then as well. All right. Okay, so they want this cable to pop on this little nipple right here. So this will go like that. But they don't. Do they say about trimming some off of it? Nope. But gonna do a black wash on this lever. That'll give it some visual interest and make it look a little better. You don't have to be perfect with it. It'll kind of just flow in the cracks, and so it definitely looks, just taking a few extra seconds to do that looks a lot better in my opinion. Looks a little more realistic, huh? Let me put that on my extra hands thing and let it dry. All right, I mounted that little lever for the cable. It goes back to engage for reverse gear lockout arrangement. So that's done, and I think that's it for now on that. We're at page 311. So let's see. Yep, page 311. So it looks like we'll be back to working on fuel pumps and whatever else the rest there. Should be pretty cool. I think what I'm going to do is go back and do the fuel injection, run all that I kind of keep putting off. Looks like they have the one side done here. Let's go. So it looks like it's starting on 262. Don't know how bad this is going to be to do, but we'll find out. All right, so I'm at page 262 and kind of backtracked, but that's okay. And I'm going to start on the fuel injection part of it here, and maybe it won't take too long. I don't know. That's a nice little bag there. Where's my snips? So we got some nozzles. So this tubing I give you, it actually looks pretty cool. I kind of like how it has the yellowish tint to it. Looks good. The scale's a little on the large side in my opinion for the vehicle, but it's okay. I'm gonna use what they're giving me there. So I don't know, do I have to pre-cut these? They're saying cut into 3 lengths, 125 millimeter. This is going to get confusing. I can see this already, but so 3 of them are 125, 135, 155, 160. Okay, whatever. Don't know what that was. It just fell. Go to millimeters. So 125. I probably could be doing this all off camera. All right, so let me mark that. Now go to 25. Basically there. So I need 3 of those. $135. $135. $155. Just kind of trying to do this as quick as possible without really want to screw anything up. Put that back there, and then 160. That was a satisfying click. All right, there we go with that. So what are they saying here? Do the, I think we'll come up from the bottom. I think before I do that though, I'm just going to do a little bit of a wash for some visual interest there on the bottoms of each one of those, even though I don't think anyone's ever going to see them, but that's okay. We know it's done. Yeah, it looks a lot better. You can kind of see the little nooks and crannies. Yeah, that definitely looks a little better, at least in person. I forgot I'm not supposed to be speaking. All right, so give that a few seconds to dry. Hopefully this does not kink like all the other hoses that I've been using. Oh, it seemed like that was pretty satisfying. It's starting to kink a little bit there. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? So you start to go just a little bit past that curve, and yeah, look at that. The first one's really kinked. But I don't know, is there anything I can really do to prevent that? Can you go, well, I guess, maybe, I think that'll be all right. I probably will do the other off camera just so it doesn't bore anyone to death. Let's make sure we got the one that's supposed to be a little slightly longer. Boy, I cut those. It's almost, well, one's 155 and one's 160, so that's why it's so darn close, I guess. As the dog just jumped on top. I don't know what the dog did there. Jumped off the furniture. Crazy pets. Yeah, it does not like to. No, that looks a little better. Does not like that sharp bend. I must say this is a little more satisfying than I thought it was going to be to do. All right, so that's what it looks like. Pretty cool. That's that. See, that's a weird thing. They don't have you. Oh, so I guess they'll have me do that next one over here on page 267. But I'm not going to bore anyone with showing how to route this. Maybe we could try, I guess, on camera. I don't feel like it though. But bring this critter on over here. So this ought to be a real treat, I'm sure, to get this. Yeah, I can see already. It's probably not going to be much fun. So just lacing. How they're showing going to the pump. Yeah, boy. Hope I don't have to, I think I have them glued on. Distributor caps. Doesn't look like it's going to be much fun. All right, I'm not going to bore anyone with that. I'm not going to video this. I just got to lace it through there and I'll show the end results. Probably not going to be much fun. Well, this takes a little bit of patience to route this through, and I can't really get the hoses on the bracket back there. It just doesn't really want to cooperate. I'll have to try a little harder here, but so this one will go on that nozzle and so on. But it definitely takes a little bit of finagling and patience to get this together. This still, the bottom fan or the main fan shroud still, I can move around, which is nice, but I already have this bar here in the way, which was probably not real smart of me before the way I did that, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. No one's ever going to see it. But I probably have 15 minutes in that, trying to get them snapped in place here on that divider clamps there, which looks pretty cool, but it's kind of a real pain in the butt. So getting there though. So the other ones, I had to lift the shroud up here to pop those on, and they all went right on, which is nice. So I just got to loop those and lace them underneath the spark plug wires and then attach those 6 to the pump. So I don't know. I don't even know if I have those right. If I have the levels, would that one go on the bottom? It's hard to tell in the instruction book here, like what they're showing. It's really hard to see, but I mean, the instructions are great. Don't get me wrong. So I'm probably just being an idiot here, not seeing it spelled out clearly, but the other ones, they showed them in colors, and now all of a sudden on this page they don't have them routed in different colors. Oh wait, maybe that's what this one here, that's what this was for. Okay, so I do have that right, that the green one would be at the top, like how I have. Okay, that's good then. All right, I think I got this wrapped up on the one side. This is a little frustrating. I definitely ended up having to cut off probably almost a ½ inch on each hose, and you can see there's still a little bit of slack on the one there, and one's going over top of the bar. I'm not that worried about it, to be honest. I'm not going to stress over. I'm getting tired of stressing over things that I don't think anyone's even going to see it. But I don't like, you can kind of see how some of them are kinked. So I've been trying to take my pair of forceps or tweezers, however you want to say it, pair of tweezers, and kind of trying to massage the hose and get some of the kinks out. But I can't really help it on some of them. Ones on the back, you can kind of see how kinked they are. I mean, eventually I don't think you're going to really see that, but I could try to bring, if you kind of bring it up a little bit, that does help to take the kink out, but I don't know how much. I'll have to see if I can find some reference photos. I have a feeling there's not going to be much I can do about that, because that one there looks really good. This one looks crappy. Maybe just bring it down a little bit. But I think I'm just stressing over nothing at this point. But pretty happy still with the kit. I still think it's really cool. I mean, you figure I started this right after Christmas time, and I'm getting plenty of enjoyment out of it. I had a few people make snide comments on YouTube saying about basically I wasted my money. I deleted quite a few negative comments because I don't really think it's worthwhile, in my opinion, to I get it that some people are jealous perhaps, but what they don't understand is um, you get what you pay for, I think, with something, and it's not for everybody. I know 900 and some dollars or whatever for the kit is not going to be for everybody, obviously, but I knew that if I did it and I did it for the YouTube channel, maybe I could recoup some of the money back. It's not looking that way so far, but it's okay. I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of it, and I think it's pretty awesome. So we got the other side to do, and they want me to put those dust caps. I don't know what they call them on here, trumpet caps. It just says, but I have an idea for those to make them realistic. I want to drill holes in each one of them and put a little chain going through, just like the real one, so that you would grab a hold of the chain and you can pull the whole string. Excuse me, the whole string off at once when you go to fire up the engine. So that's a whole nother thing there. But so we got one side done. I'm not really looking forward to doing the other side. I'm just rambling at this point because I'm great at procrastinating. As you guys know, I have not gotten a video up every Saturday like I said I would. I lost last week. Boy, that got weird. The camera just went real bright. Um, I stayed off the internet on purpose last week, and that's a whole nother story. I had anyway, a scammer go after me last week and demanded $500 US cash to basically, they're going to smear my name all over the place. Anyway, I just was like, I had to change passwords on everything. That's why I haven't been on Instagram in like 2 weeks. I had to change passwords everywhere and change a bunch of things around because they had showed me some screenshots. They got into some stuff that I did not like what I saw. They had a lot of personal information about myself that they were going to post all over Reddit, I guess, or somewhere. So I kind of stayed off the internet for a week and a half or two. It really freaked me out, let's just say. So anyway, I'm back, and I called their bluff, so to speak. I don't know. I refused to pay the $500, and they, so far, I haven't seen what they said they were going to do, but the screenshots I saw that they were going to post and some things they were going to say about me were not very nice and were not true. But you just never know with people, especially when you just don't know. I don't know what country they're probably sitting in their underwear at their computer in God knows what country, but if someone wants to go after you, they certainly can. Have heard stories of it. I know a guy I worked with lost almost $30,000 from scammers, and but that was his own fault on a couple of things that he did. Yeah, screen just went bright again. That was weird. All right, I'll do the other side here. So here's the other side. Started prepping that. What I didn't do on the other one, I forgot to do, is I wanted to paint in those. You can see them there, circles where the hoses come up through. They should be painted rubber black because they're grommets that are on the fiberglass. I don't think I'm going to bother because I had, as you can see here, I had completely forgot. I did paint in all the screw heads, but I forgot to paint those grommets. So I could probably do it on this one, but I don't think anyone's ever going to see it anyway. But so that kind of sucks, but it's getting there and it looks pretty cool. I do like all the details and whatnot on this kit. All right, for the next one here, I'm at page 268, and I have to cut 6 of the lengths of tubing in that size there. And then route it all through. I'm not going to bore anyone showing you how to cut tubing, but when it was all kind of coiled up, I kind of just kept running it through my hands and stretching it out, and it will kind of sort of straighten out. Like I said, I do like the color. Looks really good. I like the off. It's not perfectly clear and it's not yellow. It looks really good. It looks kind of aged. I do like that a lot. The scale is way off, though. It should probably be like half the diameter, really. But I don't have anything here in stock like that I could have used. Okay. Let's see here. We'll start with the shortest one first. So the biggest issue I have with this vinyl tubing is it wants to kink so easily. So it's kind of there. That one even has a slight kink. I mean, there's not much I can do about it, really. I know there was a comment someone posted and said that you could put something inside of it. But the problem is with the clear, that one didn't kink. That one looks really good. So it just depends. Seems like the angle and curvature. But once it kinks, it's pretty much you're done. You're not gonna get it to come back out. You can kind of try to massage it, but I don't know how to get that. See, once I could flip it around and try again. I have some hose left over too from when I cut this, so I could probably try again, but it's just such a tight turn. Yeah, it looks a little better. It seemed to be easier going from the top down. Definitely looks pretty cool though. Like I said earlier, I didn't paint in these black grommets. I guess I should have, but you're never going to see any of this anyway. Not too much of it, I don't think, unless you would take the so-called airbox part of it off, which I don't know when you would do that, but that's why I don't know if I really even need to have the trumpet caps done, but maybe I don't know. We'll see, because it's not finished off. Like the top of the trumpets aren't finished. So you almost need to have something there to hide that. All right, so there we have that completed. Now the fun part is, I'm being facetious, but the fun part is getting it laced through. I do like the instructions. They're really pretty decent, pretty good. But I like how they have the red, green, and blue to kind of aid you in, where to lace them through. And sometimes you may have to make your own decisions on how you want to go with that, if the routing is. But I think for the most part, I'm sure they went off of research, the reference card they used. For the most part, I think stuff has been pretty accurate. Just some of the nomenclature, or some of the descriptions have seemed a little funky to me. But so, and they give you, where is it, back here? This divider here is really nice. I forgot they did give me another one here for 3 for the other side. I didn't need it. And then I tried to put it back in and I couldn't get it. I might still be able to get that situated at some point, but I'm not super worried about it. So they give you, basically looks like it's for spark plug wires. So they give you a little, it's pretty nice. So it shows, looks like they want that going in here. So I'm not going to bore anyone with lacing it, so I'm I'm going to stop there, and I'll be back in hopefully a little bit. We'll see. It's probably going to take about a half hour to lace it all around there. All right, I put a little dab of super glue on tops of each of the fittings there on top of the fuel injection pump. For me, I think it's easier to do that, and then try to, hopefully that'll dry here soon, and then I can start tucking this down. I don't know. They just, some of them seem like they're going to be kind of long, but take one last look at the fuel injection pump, because that's going to be pretty much hidden once I put this on there. So all right, that was a real treat to get this top cover pushed down onto the fake trumpet things there, those stalks sticking up that you can kind of see there more in the darker ochre color. That's the original color that they had everything painted in. The lighter tan, this color is what I did. So it gives you a good idea of what the color differences are there if you were curious. Not that it's bad directly from the kit, but I just I wanted a little bit more lighter tan. Excuse me. So you can't even really see what I did anyway, but it was a very, very tight fit. Now you do have this kind of caps off the top of the pump there, but I really felt like I don't even want to look at it underneath. I'm sure it's all smashed up under there, but not much I can do about that. But I'm glad that's done. We could add the fan here, which I still would like to get this working if I can. I don't know. I have some things up my sleeve I thought about to try to get the fan to actually rotate with a tiny motor. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I'm asking for trouble though, doing anything extra like that, but it might be really, really cool. Especially if when you go to turn the car on, that would come on would be awesome. But anyway, got to remember it's a static model, so very cool. Getting there slowly but surely. So I think I'm gonna have to end it there. Let's see here though. Let me get this out of the way. I would weigh that, because I know the one guy was asking me how much does it weigh. I could probably weigh it here then. So yeah, it would just be the trumpet covers next, which I could show you what they look like here. I think I have them down in my cup of junk. But I think what I want to do is draw a tiny hole in each of them and put a little metal ring and add the chains. But they look pretty accurate though. They do look pretty good. But I think it would be cool to have the tiny chains that when you grab a hold, you can just pull all 6 of them off at a time, just like the real car. But I'll have to detail each of those up as well at some point to match the fiberglass color I had created there. But that definitely, I guess I'm almost going to have to put them on, because I mean, otherwise it looks kind of ugly. Oh, does this have to go? Oh, these go down first. I'm sorry. These cups. These little cups got to go. Yeah, I didn't see that. So they got to get done. They go next. And then you can put the little trumpet cover things will go in there like that. So not too bad. But I think I'm going to end the video there. I'm sorry if this video is short and boring. Just now that we're going into springtime, I have grass to cut and other things here at my house to take care of. And like I said, I lost some time there being off the internet for a week and a half or so. But looks like coming up, then we just have the, if you want to call it the air box. Basically, it was almost like a decorative cover because it really didn't have much going on in terms of protecting anything with the motor. I guess it would protect from major things falling down inside there, but I have seen some have screen glued. They had screen inside there, so I might do that. We'll see. But I don't think the original cars had that. I think that was more later on that they added the mesh screen inside there. So they have, yeah, they show them there with those caps. I don't know if I'm going to do that. But I think as long as that's all removable, I think that'll be okay. That would be kind of cool that you could take all that off. And then we're going back to the interior, which I already had completed the battery box and all that. But I think I'm going to leave it off there. And that was what, part 19. So if you guys like this type of video, be sure to give me a like, share it if you know anyone might be interested. I appreciate it. And the number one thing, to please try to hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, it's free. You can't beat free. And don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. That is the most important thing at this point, because I noticed all of a sudden my viewership has plummeted in the last few weeks, and it's something with the algorithms, I guess, because I really haven't changed much of what I've been doing. I mean, I was trying to post a video every Saturday night, but that kind of flopped, and now I'm kind of looking like it's going to be Sunday possibly to get this up. But trying to do the best I can. I do hold down a full-time job and have a family and everything as well, so I know some people get disappointed if you don't have regular uploads, but that's where we're at with that, and it's looking pretty awesome, I think. I mean, it's getting there very slowly. Let me try to weigh this quick, and we'll see what it is. All right, so it's saying it's over 7 pounds, about 7.5 pounds. I don't know how accurate that is. It feels to me, I thought it was going to be at least 10 pounds. I guess I'm getting weak in my old age, but that's what it shows. And I'm sure with the body on it, it's going to be, I don't know, I would say then at least 10, 11 pounds, but I don't know. I'm just guesstimating at this point. But there's quite a few things to add yet to the car, and the heaviest is yet to come. So there you go for the gentleman who asked about the weight. That's it. That's where we're at right now anyway. Signing off. I'll see you guys hopefully next week, and you guys have a good rest of your week. All right. Bye-bye now.